We saw it in, Cleveland. Kyrie and Deion Waiters is not gonna work out long term. But these two, they seem selfless enough. But do you ever see that becoming a problem with those two if either one's ego becomes a factor, or do you think they're just egoless, both of them?
No, I think they're too good of friends. Like, they're close. Like, I covered them at the USA camp out here. They're friends. Like, they're really close friends. They came out around the same time. They're really good friends. They're on good terms. I don't ever see that happening. It's just something that, you know what? It's one of those things to where, how can I say? It's just one of those things to where it's that these guys will grow. I mean, these guys are going to be in the same backcourt for the next 5 to 8, possibly 10 years. So they're going to be fine. It's just the key for them. It just continue to get better and keep on getting each other better and improving their games. But these guys are going to be fine.
Dallas, with the Mavs right now, 10-4, seems like, the pieces are fitting correctly, with Chandler Parsons, with Tyson Chandler coming back, Nowitzki, those pieces seem to fit. And Monte Ellis, still, playing solid. With Dallas, do you think, we could talk about really all 8 teams that are current, other than maybe Phoenix. Yeah, I guess there's 7 teams that you could really talk about that have a legit shot at making the NBA Finals from the West, which is insane. Dallas, though, what have you liked so far from what you've seen from them, and what is a couple of concerns you do have?
Well, my thing is this. When it comes to Dallas, it comes down to how healthy is Dirk, because eventually he's the guy that you go through to close games out. And if he's not healthy, if he's not the guy that we've known him to be, then I don't know how far they can go. I like Chandler Parsons, I like Monte Ellis, but I still have my doubts about how healthy their two most important guys are, and that's when it comes down to it, Tyson Chandler and Dirk Nowitzki. Those are the 2 most important guys in that basketball team for various reasons. If those guys cannot stay healthy, they're not going to have a chance. If they do stay healthy, then they got a good shot. But it's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I like, I like this team a lot. They play good defense. They're really solid on offense. I need to see a little bit more. I wouldn't put them in the upper echelon of the West just yet, because there are just certain teams that are better than them. I still think Golden State's better. I still think Memphis is better, and Spurs are better at this point in time.
Really quickly, Sacramento, New Orleans, Phoenix, those are the 3 kind of up-and-coming teams here in the West. Which one of those 3 do you see making the playoffs? Because I think, the Clippers are in the 8th seed right now, but I think it's pretty understood they'll make the playoffs. It's just a battle between Phoenix, Sacramento, and New Orleans who's going to get that 8th spot. Which one of those 3 do you like right now, and which one do you think has the longest staying power for being solid enough to make the playoffs in the West?
Well, the Clippers still have 2 all-star players. We can't forget that. So we have 2 all-star players. Euro's going to be in good shape, even though their players aren't playing at this rate right now. There's some issues. There's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about just yet. Eventually we'll figure it out. We'll find out. But at this point in time, their guys aren't playing at the highest level that they can. There's some issues with the team. But I still like the Clippers. The Pelicans are very surprising. You can make an argument, top 3 player in the league on their team, Anthony Davis. Some people call him the number 2 player in the league. But he's playing amazing right now. And you know what? It's going to sound crazy, but I like the Kings, man. I really like the Kings. Everyone's bought in. They play hard every night. The defense has been solid. They play hard at home, and that's always a good thing for a young team. Whenever you have a young team, you want that team to have a home advantage. It seems like they have that. It's a very weird situation, but I like the Kings. I really do. They have 2 guys that can get you 25, 80 a night. They got 2 guys that require a double team. I still think they need a little more outside shooting, but if Ben McLemore, a guy who I didn't think would stick on this team, I thought he'd be one of the first guys out there. If he can become a consistent force for them, watch out, because he can play. It's just about him being consistent. But they have I like a lot of their pieces. They need to play like I Ray McCollum more, but they got a lot of pieces. I like Sacramento a lot. They're a piece away from being a real contender, but I like what they bring to the table thus far.
With the Clippers, do you maybe a year ago, like in the off season, I think it was before Doc came in, there was the rumor of Blake and DeAndre were not happy. They didn't like Chris Paul. They thought, they didn't get along with him, which is beyond me because Chris Paul has essentially, made those two guys what they are right now. But do you think that that's the rift right now? Is those two against Chris Paul again? That starting to boil a little bit again?
Well, I don't know if it's that. I really don't know if it's particularly that. My whole thing is this, man. They don't have an NBA caliber small forward. Like, they don't have a small forward that's NBA caliber small forward on their roster right now. They're having to play Jamal Crawford way too many minutes at that position. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think Chris Paul has lost a step. He's still a great player, but he has lost a step. He's a guy that he's been really, really good, but he's not as great as he once was. He's not that superhuman point guard that he once was. Also, Blake Griffin, from what I've heard, he was doing, backflips and stuff off the, he's, doing, skydive, not skydiving, but, doing, backflips off of, rocks and stuff into the ocean, right before training camp, and his back is messed up. So stuff like that, you hear stuff like that, it's what the hell is going on here? So it's just it's kind of a weird situation with him. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but it's something that it's something that they need to figure out because they don't look right. To the naked eye, they don't look right. I know they played some easy teams recently, the Magic and the Heat. They got killed by the Grizzlies tonight, but something's not correct there, and eventually it's going to come to light. We're eventually going to see exactly what's going on, but as of right now, something's not right. But they have too many bad contracts on that roster. DeAndre Jordan, as good of a player as he is, he's not the guy you want to give a max contract to. You just don't. I think you can get better. I think you get a guy that isn't a liability. I just think that he can get a lot more for the money he's making and money what he's going to be making. J.J. Redick is very overrated. He has one good game a week. The other two games are very subpar. And then you have your small forward position. It's just a very rough situation. So until they figure those things out, they're going to be the same first round, second round knockout.
On to the NFL. Again, Thanksgiving this Thursday. Bears, Lions, Philly, Dallas, Seattle, San Francisco. Do you like the addition of this third game on Thanksgiving, the night game? Used to be on NFL Network, now NBC's got it. Do you like the addition of this kind of rivalry third game that happens every Thanksgiving now?
I mean, it's cool. I don't mind it. It's cool. When it comes down to it, I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's for the fans. When people want to, the fans want to like it. The fans want to be involved. And, I personally have a problem with it. I don't have a huge issue with it. I personally think that when it comes down to it, it's good. It's good to have a late Thursday night game for Thanksgiving only. I'm not a big fan of Thursday games to begin with, but for Thanksgiving, it's really good. It's really, really good. It's a situation to where, some people work on Thanksgivings. Some people have, dinner with families early. Some people have dinner with families late. So it's good. It's a situation where if you come in late, late night, you get to watch a game. And that's always cool. It's always good. It's a tradition. Got good matchups this year, especially the night game is a good matchup. You got the Niners and the Seahawks. All in a short week, though, but it still should be a good game.
Isn't it weird, even during the Jim Schwartz era, I wouldn't call Detroit good, great at any point during the Schwartz era, but it is odd that they're, they got good players now. It's not just Barry Sanders or something like that. They'll be underachieving at times, but isn't it weird to have Detroit be semi-relevant on Thanksgiving?
Well, it's good. It's definitely good. Even last year, last year's the year, they beat the Packers last year on Thanksgiving. I don't think Aaron Rodgers was playing, but they've been decent as of late. They just haven't been able to take that next step as a team. And I think until they do that, can't really take them seriously. But, it's good to have them relevant. It's good. The NFL needs as many different teams as possible to be relevant. It's a good thing. It's never a bad thing to have as many good teams and good players in different situations be relevant. It's always a welcoming sign. It's always a good sign. So, personally, I think that when it comes down to it, it's good to see that because for a long time they were just getting beat. Every Thanksgiving it was automatic that they get killed. And that's not good for the league. That's not good for your product, especially when you have so many casual fans watching on that day. You want to have solid players. You want to have guys that can really, 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 really make a difference. So it's pretty interesting.
Harbaugh versus Pete Carroll on Thursday night. Should we appreciate this rivalry? Because this might be one of the last times we ever see these two face off.
Well, I don't think it's going to be the last time they face off because I still think that Harbaugh's going to be in the NFL next year. It won't be with the 49ers, but he'll be in the NFL somewhere. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a weird feeling. It's a weird situation. But I will say, I will say this. I will say that they play this week. They in 2 weeks from Sunday as well. There may be a third game. The way this NFL is, who knows what may happen. But it's a good rivalry. It's a good rivalry. I don't think they hate each other. I think there's some bad blood there, but I don't think they hate each other. I think the word hate is kind of strong. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But at the same time, there's a lot of competitive edge there. There's a lot of egos in that situation. And Pete has done the better job. He's the guy that's pretty much gotten the championships at both levels, and that's something Jim hasn't done yet.
Where do you see Harbaugh going at the end of the, into next year? Do you see possible landing in Miami, or do you see, you said you don't think he's going back to college, but where do you see him winding up?
It has to be Miami. And if in one place, I keep hearing the Raiders. I keep hearing that he may wind up with the Raiders. I don't know if that will happen. But I keep hearing the Raiders. I keep hearing that. I just don't know. I don't know why he would do that because that's a very bad situation. That needs a lot of work. But I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I do not know. But I think Miami's leading the clubhouse because of the talent they have. They have a roster similar to the roster he got when he got the Niners job. He has pretty much a solid roster that's ready to go from this point on. And I don't know if he has that with the Raiders. Raiders would need a lot of work. They have a lot of issues and whatnot. But with the Raiders, he would have full control. And that's something that he wouldn't have in most places. So it's pretty much up to him. It's pretty much up to him. But Miami would be the best job for him, in my opinion.
Last thing before I let you go, do you want to tell everybody where we can find you on Twitter, the internet, all that good stuff?
Well, you can find me at a lot of places. On Twitter at @VJamieson, on BelieveLifeNBA.com. Of course, Brian Fair, a lot of my stuff is on there as well. If you're on the West Coast, I'm on Fox Sports radio in the mornings, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday and Wednesday in Vegas, Tuesday in New Mexico. Thursday I'm on with Jordan KOAL in Utah. And then we have our NBA show, the Triple J show, talk NBA for about an hour with myself, Jabari A. Davis, and Jordan Buscarini on KOAL, 7:50 a.m. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We're doing a lot of stuff. Going to be covering some games soon, both college and pro. Got Lakers and Timberwolves game this week. So it should be interesting.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on short notice, and I'll get you your B-Dubs gift card sent out shortly, and we'll talk again soon. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on the Bob Sullivan Show, and if you want to call in after the break, the number is 585-633-7487.
Tucson, well,